My beloved child, listen closely. This night is unlike any other you have experienced. Heaven is leaning in. Angels are on assignment. And I, your God, have drawn you here with divine precision. You did not stumble upon this message. You were summoned. You are standing in a moment that eternity has already recognized. Hell has fought to distract you from this exact hour. But my hand has prevailed. What I'm about to release through this message will not just encourage you, it will activate you. Even if you couldn't feel my grip during the storms, this night carries a heavenly marking, a spiritual stamp. While the world around you sleeps or scrolls, unaware of the shift, you have been chosen to witness the unfolding of something sacred and supernatural. The pain, delays, and questions were not in vain. They were stages in a divine setup. Every tear that soaked your pillow, every sigh released in the quiet of your loneliness, and every moment you thought I wasn't listening, those were the bricks I used to pave this path. Now I stand beside you, hand extended, ready to unleash my glory. What I will do through you tonight will change the course of what seems stuck. Do not be distracted. Do not pull away in fear or doubt. Do not say you are not ready, for I prepared you while you waited, wondered, and warred in silence. There is no going back. I have sealed this night with my voice, and you will move with my wind. This is not another night to forget. It is the one night hell feared would come, and heaven has waited to celebrate. You are not standing on ordinary ground. You are standing at the edge of movement, the doorway of suddenness, the border of breakthrough. I do not need tomorrow to show you what I have been preparing. I have chosen tonight, this very breath, this very moment, to prove my presence is more than comfort, it is power. Let no sleep steal what I am whispering. Let no fear cancel what I am arranging. You are not just experiencing this night, you are a weapon in it. This night is my declaration through you. As the divine winds circle what I have positioned in you, know this. Heaven has not only noticed your presence, it has declared your name aloud in this exact hour. I did not whisper it quietly in the corners of eternity. I proclaimed it boldly across the halls of the unseen. Your name has been echoed in the presence of angels, wrapped in my authority, and stamped with divine purpose. These declarations have gone forth like arrows, piercing through resistance and dismantling every agenda that dared to delay you. This is not merely your time, it is the hour where your name carries heavenly authority because I have spoken it. What once ignored you will now listen. What overlooked you will now turn in your direction. What denied you access will tremble at your arrival. I have called you forth with intentionality, not as a bystander to miracles, but as a vessel through which my power will be witnessed. Let it be known, your name is no longer associated with your past. Heaven does not call you by your history, it calls you by your destiny. The shame they tied to you, the failures you hid, and the regrets that tried to follow have no authority in this hour, because I have redefined you with a single utterance. My voice did not stumble when it declared you. It did not hesitate or need approval. That voice, my voice, is the same one that calmed the sea, raised the dead, and created galaxies, and it has now been used to release your name into realms you have not yet stepped into. Do not underestimate what happens when heaven speaks. The declaration was not just poetic, it was legal and governmental, carrying weight, authority, and immediate execution. You might still feel unqualified, but heaven operates on obedience, not feelings. When I say your name, everything aligned with your purpose is stirred. Your name is now active in this atmosphere. This is why you have felt an unusual intensity and increased resistance. Your name has been flagged in the spirit realm as a chosen carrier of what I am about to pour out. You are not waiting for a door to open. It has already been instructed to swing wide at your arrival. You are not chasing approval. It has already been issued. While others look for validation, I have already signed off on your mission. That is why the timing could no longer be delayed. The earth may still rotate in its usual rhythm, but something in the unseen has already shifted in your direction. The announcement has been made, the table has been set, the seal has been broken, and heaven has stood to attention, not because of your perfection, but because of your position in me. This hour carries your name on its scroll. With every breath you take from this moment forward, remember, you are walking in a moment that eternity recognized before time began. You are not late, lost, or forgotten. You have been announced, recognized, and selected. Nothing, no failure, no fear, no delay, can mute what heaven has spoken over you this night. Because your name now resonates across dimensions unseen by human eyes, I am not only speaking over you, I am placing my hand within yours, releasing something that cannot be imitated, delayed, or duplicated. This is not the hour for watching from the sidelines. My power is not hovering around you, waiting for permission. It is already being poured into the movements of your body, the intentions of your heart, and the actions of your spirit. When your fingers stretch forward, they are no longer just flesh. They are instruments of divine orchestration. My hand is not distant. It is infusing your reach, guiding your decisions, steadying your emotions, and commanding your surroundings to shift. You are not simply being empowered, you are being infused. You are not performing for me, you are partnering with me. Every gesture, word, and choice is becoming a stage for heaven to manifest. What I am doing now is far more intimate than a distant blessing. It is a sacred merging. My supernatural will is being joined to your natural willingness, and this union is where the miraculous is born. You must understand that your hands will no longer just respond to circumstances. They will begin to create them. You will no longer live reacting to storms. You will begin speaking to them with authority. My hand within yours means that what was once impossible will no longer resist you in the same way. This divine release is not about your talent, status, or qualifications. It is about your surrender. You gave me your yes when no one else heard you. You remained in position when it made no sense to stay. Because of that obedience, I am now equipping your very limbs with the ability to move heaven into earth. This is not symbolic, it is real. When you touch someone in prayer, they will feel not just comfort, but power. When you lift your hands in worship, you will open atmospheres you did not realize were locked. When you write, build, lift, and release, my signature will be found in the very motion of your actions. That is how closely I am connecting to you in this moment. The hand that once felt weak and unnoticed is about to carry my presence like an ark in motion. You may have thought your hands were only meant to survive, to hold on, to endure. But now they are being sanctified for purpose, no longer trembling in fear, but trembling with glory. No longer idle from weariness, but active with divine strategy. You are not waiting for something external to shift, you are being transformed to become the shift. You are becoming the movement. I did not choose your voice only. I chose your body, your reach, your presence, your very touch to carry my intentions through this earth. You are my agent of impact. The world will not change from the outside in. It will be altered through people like you who allow me to take over completely from the inside out. Yes, some will misunderstand. Some will question your sudden boldness, your divine confidence, your ability to do what they never expected. But do not defend what I have placed within you. Just walk in it. Let the results speak. Let the testimonies follow. You do not need to prove you have been touched by me. Your impact will reveal it. I have chosen to work through you, not around you or instead of you. Your surrender has created a clear path for my glory to travel. This is why I kept you hidden, why I let others run ahead. When I move through someone, I do not rush, I refine. And now, refined one, yielded one, trusted one, watch what happens when I place my hand within yours. Watch what changes, what melts, what obeys, what heals, what awakens. You will not even recognize yourself soon, not because you have improved, but because you have been overtaken by the one who holds all power. As my hand begins to move within your own, there will be no separation between what you touch and what I bless. Every surface your fingers grace, every life you interact with, every burden you lift, and every assignment you step into will no longer be an ordinary contact, but a divine collision. You are not just carrying my presence, you are transmitting it. What once felt like small, unnoticed actions will now carry eternal weight because I have authorized your touch to become a carrier of heaven's atmosphere. You may have been overlooked in previous seasons, but now you walk as a vessel whose nearness will shift chains, whose hug will heal wounds, whose words will plant seeds of awakening, and whose prayers will unlock doors they thought were sealed forever. I did not choose you to blend in. I chose you to infect the atmosphere with the fragrance of my presence. No longer will you enter a place unnoticed, for even when your entrance is quiet, the spirit within you will roar. The environments that used to drain you will now respond to your spiritual frequency, because I am not sending you empty. I am sending you full of me. That cashier you speak to, that neighbor you pass by, that friend you message at just the right time, it is not random. Your very presence will be strategic. You will not always realize it in the moment, but later you will see how that simple touch, that glance, that step held the weight of eternity. Do not minimize your everyday movements anymore. When I say everything you touch will be touched by heaven, I mean everything. The objects in your home, the documents you sign, the rooms you clean, the children you care for, the meals you prepare. Heaven is mingling with the mundane. What the world sees as small, I use as sacred. That is how my glory flows, disguised in simplicity but bursting with power. Your faithfulness in hidden places has given me full permission to saturate your surroundings. The enemy will try to make you second-guess your impact. He will try to convince you that you are not doing enough, that your moments do not matter, that your reach is too limited. But I tell you now, your obedience has multiplied your influence in ways you cannot yet calculate. You do not need a stage, a title, or applause. All you need is alignment, and child, you are aligned. That is why things are accelerating. Why you have been feeling a divine tension inside, a growing pull that something unusual is unfolding even though your eyes do not fully see it yet. That pull is heaven expanding inside you. You are walking like a flame wrapped in skin, igniting things you did not even mean to. And that is exactly how I want it. Your touch will carry restoration. Your embrace will carry deliverance. Your whisper will carry clarity. Even your tears, yes, even they will become a language I use to reach places words cannot go. You asked me to use you, and now I am, not in the way others imagined, not with the methods they approve, but in the way that pleases me. Quiet, powerful, consistent, and unstoppable. From this point forward, nothing you touch remains untouched by me. Watch how even difficult conversations turn into divine encounters. Watch how places you dreaded entering suddenly begin to shift because my spirit precedes you. This is not your imagination. It is your impartation. You are a living extension of my heart, and your hands have been anointed for holy disruption. So do not second-guess the ripple effect. Do not expect immediate recognition. Just trust the impact. You are leaving trails of heaven wherever you go, and in time, the evidence will rise. People will begin to say, something happened when you were near, and you will know it was not you. It was me, flowing through every move you made, every surface you touched, and every heart you reached without even realizing it. As my presence fills everything you engage with, understand that you will never walk another step by yourself. This journey onward is no longer yours to navigate alone. I have woven myself into the rhythm of your movement. Every step you take, I am inside it. You are not just following my lead. You are moving with me, embedded in your stride. I have embedded my strength where your legs used to buckle. I have injected my courage into the parts of you that once hesitated. I have positioned my guidance where confusion used to cloud your clarity. When your foot hits the ground, it echoes with the sound of divine partnership. I have not merely called you, I have chosen to inhabit the very way you move forward. You will not need to second guess whether I am near. You will know I am within. I am not watching you from above, waiting to see if you will stumble. Nor am I shouting directions from a distance, hoping you interpret them correctly. I am inside your momentum, wrapped in your forward motion. Every shift in your pace, every turn you take, every choice that causes you to rise or to wait, I am there, intimately involved, synchronizing my wisdom with your willingness. The paths you were once afraid of will now unfold beneath you with clarity. Not because the danger has disappeared, but because my nearness cancels the fear that once ruled you. Even when you walk into unfamiliar places, when the terrain feels strange and you are unsure of what awaits, remember this: you are not the only one stepping in. I go in with you. When you feel the weight of unknown expectations, I am there, absorbing what was meant to crush you. When people look at you and expect you to carry more than you ever have, they will not see that I am quietly bearing the load behind the scenes. The world may not recognize my footprints beside yours, but they will witness what cannot be explained. How you keep enduring, how you keep rising, how you keep arriving in places you were never supposed to reach. That is not your own strength. It is because I am walking the road with you, not ahead or behind you, but within every inch of your movement. Do not allow your past missteps to speak louder than my current guidance. You may have tripped before, but now things are different. I am so deeply present in your pace that even your detours will become divine. Even the path once looked like failure will now be used as proof that my presence can redeem every direction. There is no longer such a thing as wasted motion for you. I use it all. Your walk has become a holy pattern of purpose. Every delay is purposeful. Every acceleration strategic. You are not behind, too late, or wandering. You are exactly where I need you to be, and I am right there with you. So when weariness returns and questions try to interrupt your forward march, do not collapse into doubt. Speak to your soul and remind it, I do not move alone. Speak it again when silence surrounds you, when applause disappears, and when resistance rises. You are not alone on this stretch of road. You are not alone when your legs shake under pressure. I am the invisible rhythm in your journey, the hidden wind that keeps pushing you when you feel too tired to continue. I will not leave your side or take my hand off your direction. I am not observing, I am participating. You are carrying me as I carry you. So walk forward, child. Walk boldly, steadily, like one who has heaven inside their steps, because that is exactly who you are now. Now that your footsteps have become the dwelling place of my presence, I want you to understand something deeper, something the world will not comprehend. Your weakness is not a hindrance to what I am doing. It is the very place I have chosen to display my brilliance. You spent so long trying to hide the fragile parts of yourself, covering the cracks, explaining away your scars, and apologizing for what you thought disqualified you. But I never turned my face from those places. I was drawn to them. I did not skip over your struggles. I waited patiently beside them, knowing that when you finally surrendered those trembling pieces, I could turn them into a canvas no human could take credit for. I never needed your perfection, child. I just needed your permission. The very areas you have begged me to remove are the same places I am using to reveal my nature. The insecurity you have battled, I am transforming into a well of compassion. The fear that used to choke your voice, I am converting into a megaphone of hope. The memory you buried, hoping it would fade, I am resurrecting as a testimony. I never intended to discard your flaws. I planned to fill them with myself. The world values strength that appears polished and loud, but I move through surrendered fragility. I pour light into what the world calls broken. I heal through hands that once trembled. I resurrect through vessels that were shattered. When they ask how it happened, they will see me, not you, because only I could take weakness and make it glorious. This is why I allowed the wrestling, why I did not immediately remove what you thought was your burden. You did not realize it was preparing you to carry something eternal. If I had answered you the way you asked, you would have walked forward confident in your own ability. But now you rise, knowing that everything you accomplish from here is because of who is inside you, not what you can manufacture. You are not standing today because of skill. You are standing because of surrender. The tears you cried in private have become paint in my hands. The questions you screamed in the dark have become brushstrokes on the masterpiece I am revealing. So do not run from your weakness. Do not try to erase it. Bring it to me fully. Lay it bare. Let me take what embarrasses you and turn it into evidence of my hand. I do not waste pain. I do not overlook brokenness. I inhabit it. That is why I came as a wounded savior, not a crowned king. I walk among the contrite, not just the confident. I have chosen your fragile pieces not to discard them, but to shine through them. Your weakness is not an obstacle to my work, it is the opening. I will prove this to you soon. You will watch yourself step into moments you once avoided and realize it is not because you became stronger, but because I filled the gap. You will say words you never rehearsed. You will face challenges that used to intimidate you. You will stand in rooms you once felt unworthy of. Every time it happens, you will know it was me. Not your talent, not your charm, not your strategy, just me. That is how I get the glory, and that is how you get the peace. So walk into your calling boldly, even if you feel unqualified. Lift your head, even if your knees still shake. Speak when I lead you, even if your voice quivers. You are not the same as you were before. You are now the canvas, and I am the artist. And child, I do not make mistakes. Every line, every shade, every layer of your life is part of the masterpiece I am painting for all to see. They will not marvel at your perfection. They will fall on their knees because of how beautifully I displayed my glory through what once looked like weakness. That will be the miracle, the message, and the proof that I have been with you all along. Now that you have surrendered the areas you once believed disqualified you, and I have begun turning those unseen parts into radiant reflections of my presence, it is time for something long delayed but never denied. I am now lifting the veil. Yes, the one that kept you questioning, cloaked your understanding, and blurred your vision when you begged to see clearly. For too long, you have been walking with passion but without clarity, trusting me in shadows and navigating through places where nothing made sense. But that clouded season is ending. I am pulling back what has been concealing the truth of your calling, the strategy behind your waiting, and the beauty buried under what looked like silence. The time of hiddenness is over, not because I am changing my mind, but because you are ready to carry the weight of what I am about to reveal. You thought I was withholding from you, that the silence meant rejection. But in truth, I was protecting what you were not prepared to manage. Had I revealed it too soon, it would have overwhelmed you or been stolen by voices not assigned to your purpose. There are things I placed inside you that were meant to stay concealed for a time, not because you lacked worth, but because their impact required deep development. Now, the timing has aligned, the season has shifted, and your spirit has matured. What I am exposing now will not break you, it will build you. What once confused you will begin to make sense in ways that bring tears to your eyes, not from pain, but from the awe of how I orchestrated even the delays for your good. The veil being lifted is not just about insight, it is about access. Places you did not know you were meant to stand will open before you. Realms you only glimpsed in prayer will become realities. Hidden connections are coming to light. Conversations that once felt random will be revealed as divine setups. Relationships you did not understand will suddenly show their purpose. The dots you could never connect will now link together like a divine map. You will look back and realize that nothing was wasted, not even the confusion. I was behind the curtain, shaping you with precision, and now that curtain is being drawn back. This unveiling will not just affect you, it will affect those around you. People will begin to see something different in your eyes, not because you are changing the way you speak, but because you now walk with understanding. Your presence will carry weight because your vision will no longer be clouded. You will speak with wisdom you did not study for. You will discern without needing confirmation. You will know when to move, speak, and stay silent because I will reveal my timing to you clearly. The haze is lifting, and with it the heaviness that confusion brought. Where you once hesitated, you will now act. Where you once feared, you will now trust. Where you once guessed, you will now know. But with revelation comes responsibility. I am not showing you these things to entertain your curiosity. I am unveiling them so you can move with intention. You must protect what I reveal. Not every insight is for public discussion. Some things I show you are meant to be carried in prayer, not spoken aloud. Some of what I lift the veil on will require you to act with maturity, to carry it with reverence, not excitement. You must understand the weight of what I am handing you. It is not light, but you are ready. Pay attention to the shifts, the insights, the sudden awareness that something has changed in your spirit. That is not imagination. It is my spirit whispering, look again. Things that were once blurry are becoming sharp. Dreams that felt symbolic are now becoming instructions. I am not concealing anymore. I am clarifying. You are not in the dark. You are stepping into light. And with every layer I pull back, you will discover not only more about your purpose, but also more about my heart. Because everything I show you is not just about your mission, it is about my love for you. That is what I've been waiting to reveal all along. Now that the veil has been lifted and clarity begins to settle in places once ruled by mystery, you must understand something very important. The darkness that once surrounded and intimidated you, the force that silenced you, has absolutely no defense against what I have placed within you. This darkness, be it fear, oppression, confusion, heaviness, torment, delay, or spiritual resistance, cannot endure the force of my light that now radiates from the depths of your being. It does not matter how long it lingered, how thick it felt, who it came through, or how it manifested. None of it has the authority to remain when my light through you begins to burn. You are not reflecting a borrowed glow. You are carrying my nature. And darkness is allergic to me. It must retreat, fold in defeat, lose its grip, and dissolve at the command of my presence. You have underestimated the power of what I have been building inside you. You thought you needed to fight this battle by shouting louder, praying harder, or trying to control the atmosphere with your emotions. But I am teaching you something higher now. This fight is not won by striving, it is won by shining. Simply standing in the middle of what used to consume you, with me alive in you, shifts the balance entirely. You do not have to announce your arrival. Light never needs to introduce itself. Its presence is its proclamation. Even now, the spiritual pressure you have felt is evidence that the darkness has sensed what is coming. It knows it cannot maintain its ground. It has heard your name, felt your presence, and detected a fire it cannot comprehend. That unease you've experienced, those restless nights, the sudden spiritual warfare, these are not signs of defeat. They are reactions to the invasion of light that has begun to break open in you. And child, that light is not seasonal or situational. It is eternal. It does not flicker when circumstances change, dim when people walk away, or fade when storms arise. This light is me, and I do not waver. The enemy's greatest hope was to keep you from realizing this. If he could convince you that your authority depended on how perfect you felt, how loud you prayed, or how many people supported you, he could keep you bound in cycles of self-doubt. But now that you know the truth, that I dwell within you as unshakable light, his strategies fall apart. You will not need to beg me to show up anymore. You will walk knowing I am already present. You will not need to fear hidden attacks. They are exposed the moment you step into the room. When others are overwhelmed by spiritual fog, you will bring clarity simply by standing firm in who you are. This is why I allowed the pressure to build, why I let the darkness grow around you for a season. Not because I abandoned you, but because I was training your awareness. I wanted you to see that even when all you had left was a flicker, that flicker was enough to confuse and disrupt hell's plans. And now it is no longer a flicker, it is a blazing force. It is not for your benefit alone, it is meant to be carried into places no one else dares to enter. You will be my lamp in rooms they gave up on, my signal fire in valleys of despair, my spark in the ashes of ruined dreams. You will not burn out because I do not burn out. So the next time fear tries to rise, resistance tries to stall you, or shadows try to settle again, remember who lives inside you. Remember who lit the fire, who said, "Let there be light," and saw darkness flee. That same voice lives in you now. That same power walks with you. That same radiance flows through your life with unstoppable purpose. You are not at the mercy of what surrounds you. You are the one causing darkness to tremble. You are the carrier of uncontainable light. And nothing, not fear, not opposition, not even the deepest night, can resist what I have ignited in you. Now that the atmosphere is trembling at the force of my light within you, and the shadows are scattering in silent panic, I need you to be still and pay close attention, because what you have been pleading with me to show you is about to manifest, not in the sky, not in dreams, not in faraway messages, but through your own hands. You have whispered in frustration, "Lord, just give me a sign. Show me that I'm on the right path. Confirm that this isn't in vain." And tonight I answered not with thunder or flashes, but with movement that flows through the very fingers you once felt were unworthy. I am responding not with symbols, but with power. Your hands will no longer just carry weight, they will carry evidence. It will not be symbolic, it will be undeniable. The signs you have been looking for are not coming in the form you expected, because I am doing something deeply personal. I am turning your touch into testimony. I am choosing the overlooked parts of you to reveal the undeniable. You will not have to explain it or convince anyone. As you begin to move in obedience tonight, even in simple, unglamorous ways, you will begin to notice things shift when you touch them. Peace enters places where confusion ruled. Clarity rises where there was chaos. Healing starts where pain lived too long. What used to feel ordinary will now carry unusual weight. Not because you changed, but because I placed something sacred in your grasp. The stirring you feel in your palms, the energy you sense when you lift your arms, the warmth or pressure you cannot explain, that is me responding to your cry. You asked for confirmation, but I am giving you collaboration. I am not just answering you, I am working with you. This is not distant permission, this is present partnership. What I do tonight will not just be for your encouragement, it will be the beginning of a pattern. This is not a one-time wonder. I am training your awareness to notice how I work through you, not just around you. No more wondering if I am listening. No more doubting your direction. No more asking for signs like a stranger. I am placing proof in your hands because you are my vessel, not my spectator. Do not dismiss what happens tonight. Do not second-guess it or brush it off as coincidence. When you touch someone and they suddenly feel peace, when you pick up something and feel a surge of clarity, when you lay your hand on your chest and feel a storm calm, know that it is me. I am not sending lightning from heaven, I am releasing confirmation through your own body. This is how close I have come, how involved I have chosen to be. I am not waiting for you to qualify, I am responding to your hunger. You asked with sincerity, and I am answering with intimacy. But I am also revealing something deeper. What you touched tonight, I have already touched. What responds to your movement was already instructed to do so. This is not about power, it is about alignment. You are stepping into something that was ordained before you even knew what to ask for. I have been preparing this moment long before your questions were formed. So do not hesitate. Do not look around for signs elsewhere. Watch your hands. Watch what I do through them. Watch how they become a witness of what I've spoken in private. And be warned, this will attract attention. The enemy will notice. The doubters will wonder. The atmosphere will shift, but you must stay focused. Do not be distracted by who does not understand. You did not ask them for a sign, you asked me. And I am answering you with a movement that only you can carry. It is holy, personal, and real. Tonight will mark the beginning of a new sensitivity in you, a new depth of discernment, a new awareness of the holy happening right in your midst. You will not have to search anymore. The evidence is with you. The answer is in you. The sign is on your hands. Watch closely, my child. Tonight, they will speak louder than words. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Now that you have seen my signs begin to flow through your own hands and have realized that your very touch carries my response, let me tell you something even deeper. This is not a temporary encounter. I am not appearing just to comfort you for a moment or encourage you for a night and then leave again. I have made a permanent decision to dwell within you. Not to visit, pass through, or linger for special occasions. I have built my residence in the depths of who you are, and I will not withdraw. I am not like the ones who came and left. I am not like the voices that gave you hope, only to abandon you when things got heavy. My indwelling is not an emotional wave. It is an eternal fact. Because I live within you now, every moment, movement, and breath is filled with divine potential. Whether you feel it or not, you do not have to strive to bring me close anymore. I am already inside, closer than your thoughts, deeper than your pain, more present than the beating of your heart. You do not need to beg me to stay because I have already signed the covenant with my own blood. I do not dwell where I am tolerated. I dwell where I am welcomed. You have made room for me through surrender, tears, and obedience in the silence. That is why I have come to stay. You have built a place for me, not in a building made of stone, but in a spirit that said yes even when it was breaking. That kind of welcome is rare, and I will honor it with the fullness of my presence. I am not standing outside knocking anymore. I am already inside rearranging things, healing what was hidden and illuminating what was dark. Because I dwell in you, you do not need to look outward to find me. I am not waiting for you in some distant holy place, trapped in religious routines or confined to special days. I am in you during the mundane moments, in the small details, in the tired breaths, in the quiet glances, in the unspoken burdens. I am there when you sit in silence, unsure of what to pray. I am there when your voice cracks under the weight of emotions you cannot name. I am there when the world feels loud and you just want peace. You will find me not by chasing, but by pausing, not by performing, but by receiving, not by striving, but by simply breathing and remembering, I am here and I am not going anywhere. This is what changes everything. Because I dwell in you, your past cannot define you. Because I dwell in you, shame has no permanent residence. Because I dwell in you, fear loses its voice. Because I dwell in you, the enemy sees me when he looks at you. I have made your life my sanctuary, and nothing unholy can remain where I reside. You have been praying for transformation, and this is how it comes. Not by external signs, but by internal dwelling. I am not interested in momentary encounters. I am after eternal habitation. You are not a visitor in my kingdom. I have made you the home of my presence. And this dwelling is not passive, it is powerful. My spirit within you will begin to stir things that have been dormant for years. Old dreams you thought were dead will begin to flutter with life. Hidden gifts will rise to the surface. Forgotten promises will burn again. Not because you forced them, but because my presence will activate what has been sleeping. You will begin to notice a difference in how you think, respond, and carry yourself. That is not you becoming better. That is me becoming visible. The world around you will sense it. They will not always know what it is, but they will be drawn to it. Drawn to me inside you. So stop asking me to come when I'm already here. Start acknowledging that I have made my home in you. With that realization, walk with confidence, not arrogance but assurance. I have not merely anointed you, I have indwelled you. This is not visitation, this is habitation. This is not emotional hype, this is divine residence. This is not temporary fire, this is constant presence. You are not chasing me anymore. You are carrying me. You are not waiting for me to show up. I already have. And I am not leaving. Not tonight. Not ever. Since you now understand that I have taken up permanent residence within you and am a constant source of divine power, I must prepare your heart for what is next. What I am about to entrust to you carries a depth beyond what you have ever held before. Do not let fear creep in as I begin to increase your capacity. Do not tremble at the magnitude of what I am assigning to your life. The weight you are about to feel is not meant to crush, it is meant to carry my glory. You see, what I give always comes with a certain heaviness, not to punish, but to establish, not to exhaust, but to deepen your roots. You have asked me to use you, and now I am. But understand this, with greater release comes greater responsibility. Yet I say to you, Do not panic, because I have already fortified you to hold what is coming. The reason I have allowed seasons that felt crushing is because I was strengthening your frame. While others were racing ahead, I was stretching your foundation. While you watched others be elevated, I was reinforcing your inner structure. Not everyone will see the preparation that happened in secret, but they will witness the strength I have built within you when they see what I rest upon your life. Do not look at yourself through the lens of your past limitations. I do not place my glory on unstable ground. I would not hand you what you are about to receive unless I had already done the hidden work to make you capable. I am not careless with my assignments. When I choose someone to carry something sacred, I ensure they are deeply rooted first. And child, your roots run deep. So when you begin to feel the increase, the spiritual intensity, the new levels of insight, the heaviness in your atmosphere, do not interpret it as something wrong. That pressure is not punishment. It is the evidence that I am laying something on your life that requires stability. The clarity that is coming will carry weight. The doors that will open will carry responsibility. The miracles I release through you will require maturity to steward. I am not giving you a platform, I am giving you purpose. And with purpose comes weight. But remember this, you are not bearing it alone. I am still within you, holding up what I place upon you. You are not lifting it in your strength. It is my spirit that sustains it. I never assign what I do not support. Do not shrink back. Do not hesitate. Do not compare yourself to those who look more prepared on the outside. I am not concerned with outer appearance. I am concerned with inward readiness. And your heart has been made ready through the crushing, through the fire, through the process you almost gave up in. That is why I'm trusting you now, not because you shouted the loudest, but because you obeyed when no one saw. Not because you were perfect, but because you were willing. Not because you knew all the answers, but because you leaned on me when everything fell apart. That is what I build on. That is what I trust. This next phase will not feel light, but it will feel right. There will be moments where the responsibility of what I place on you will require silence, discipline, and sacred boundaries. There will be moments where others will not understand your withdrawal, but you will know you are handling something weighty and cannot treat it casually. And that is when I will meet you again and again in the stillness, reminding you that this was never about your ability to carry me. It was always about my ability to carry you. You are not carrying a burden. You are carrying glory. You are not overwhelmed. You are overshadowed. You are not being buried. You are being trusted. So brace yourself, but do not fear. What I am placing on you is holy. What I am placing on you is proof that I trust you, and I will not let you collapse under it. I will support you, strengthen you, and walk with you through every moment of it. The weight you feel will not break you. It will shape you. You were made for this, and the world will soon see what I saw long before you believed it. Now that I have told you not to be afraid of what I am about to place on you, you must recognize the true nature of the heaviness that has begun to press upon your chest. The silent pressure wrapping itself around your hours. The invisible weight that seems to settle without warning. That burden you feel right now is not a curse, nor is it punishment, and it is certainly not a sign that something is wrong. It is my power stirring. It is my strength being formed in a way your body can feel before your spirit even fully understands it. This weight is not to wear you down. It is to charge you, to prepare you for the surge that is coming. My glory does not arrive quietly. It presses, groans, and stretches the container that must carry it, and that container is you. You have been asking me for greater influence, deeper anointing, and unusual authority in this hour, and I have listened. But with those requests comes something few talk about: the internal burden that precedes the external breakthrough. My presence is not always gentle when it increases. Sometimes it comes with pressure because what you are about to walk in requires more of me operating through less of you. That process creates tension, and that is what you are feeling now. The breaking of old limits, the dismantling of shallow patterns, the collapse of former mindsets, all making room for a flow you have never known before. Do not run from it. Do not mislabel it. This is not burnout, depression, or confusion. This is power getting ready to rest on you in a way that rewrites what you thought was possible. The burden shows up before the blessing so that you do not mishandle the blessing when it comes. It is me teaching you to carry what cannot be explained. It is me aligning your interior life so your public walk will not collapse under spiritual weight. You must be able to stand when no one applauds, to continue when no one notices, and to pray when nothing makes sense. This next release is not for those seeking applause. It is for those willing to endure the heaviness of real transformation. This is not about public image. It is about private obedience. I am allowing you to feel this because I trust you will not run from the responsibility. I trust that even though you are trembling, you will stay in position. I trust that when the weight becomes too much to articulate, you will still turn to me rather than withdrawing into silence. You keep asking me for more, and I am answering. But more does not arrive through noise. It arrives through weight. It rests, presses, and deepens. You have outgrown surface-level strength. You have graduated from momentary inspiration. You are being inducted into something that will stretch generations through your yes. And so, yes, it feels like a burden, because that is the first sign that what is coming is sacred. Even my son, when preparing to carry the cross, felt the crushing weight in Gethsemane before resurrection ever appeared. Why would it be different with you? You are sharing in the process of true power, and that means learning to sit under what you cannot explain, to hold what others cannot see, and to carry what only I can sustain through you. So instead of praying for the burden to lift, ask me to help you understand it. Instead of asking why it feels heavy, ask what I am forming in the tension. Do not avoid it. Lean into it. I am shaping your posture. I am expanding your spirit. I am showing you that true strength is not loud, it is yielded. I am proving to you that when you are overwhelmed, I am enough. This burden is a sign that you are no longer living on spiritual crumbs. You are now the vessel of something that must overflow. Soon, very soon, you will see what this heaviness was all about. The power will not remain unseen. What I have been pressing into you will pour out in moments that surprise you. People will ask, "Where did that come from?" And they will not know that the weight you carried in silence was preparing you for a release that will shift rooms, heal wounds, and break generational barriers. Do not curse the burden. It is holy. It is necessary. It is me, and I am getting ready to show you what happens when my power fully awakens within someone who does not quit when it gets heavy. Now that you have begun to feel the weight of my power pressing from within and have chosen not to flee from the intensity, but to remain in alignment with what I am forming, it is time for you to be made aware of something I have already set in motion before your burden even began. You are not walking into this alone, not spiritually, physically, or eternally. Even now, while your eyes scan for support and your heart wonders who understands the depth of what you are carrying, I want you to know with certainty that my angels are not on the way. They are already stationed around you, assigned, dispatched, and positioned. You are surrounded in ways far greater than you know. There are moments when the tension you feel is not just the weight of what I am placing on your life. It is the collision between heaven's protection and hell's resistance. The warfare has intensified, not because you are unguarded, but because you are deeply guarded. Hell cannot penetrate the boundaries I have established, so it tries to distract you with noise. But even in the noise, I have secured you. I have deployed angelic help not for show or entertainment, but for your fulfillment. They have orders that came directly from my throne concerning you, and they are obeying without hesitation. Whether you are asleep or awake, confident or overwhelmed, noticed or forgotten, my heavenly forces remain unshaken in their assignment. You have walked into rooms feeling like no one saw you, but angels did. You have sat in silence, feeling misunderstood, but angels stood around you, listening to the pain that never made it to your lips. You have cried out in exhaustion, thinking your prayers fell flat, but the atmosphere above you was already stirred before the words formed. They do not wait for your understanding. They respond to my voice. And I have already spoken on your behalf. You are not waiting for help. It is present. You are not abandoned. You are accompanied. You are not under attack without defense. You are surrounded by strength you cannot measure. And understand this, they are not there simply to observe your pain. They are guarding purposes, shielding timing, and warring over details that your eyes will never see, but your spirit will benefit from. That car that did not hit you, that connection that did not fail, that night you almost broke down but did not, those were not accidents. Those were divine interventions from the unseen sentries around you. They moved quietly, but their impact was eternal. And they are still moving. They are clearing paths, confronting delays, softening hearts, and preparing the stage for what I am releasing through you. You are stepping into a season where you must be aware that spiritual activity around you is increasing, not to make you afraid, but to make you alert. Begin to walk with a new confidence, not prideful, but deeply aware. You are not one against the world. You are walking with divine company. When you pray, it is not hitting ceilings, it is activating realms. When you worship, it is not routine, it is a signal. When you declare my word, it does not echo. It releases movement in the heavens. You are not just praying to survive, you are commanding breakthrough. And my angels are moving in alignment with every word I approve. But remember, their help is not earned by your performance, it is secured by my promise. You do not need to be perfect to be protected. You do not need to always feel strong to receive supernatural reinforcement. My love secured your covering, and my purpose guarantees your assistance. So stop imagining yourself as unguarded. That lie has held you back long enough. Begin to move like someone who is protected, speak like someone who is backed by heaven, and worship like someone who knows the air is charged with activity. Even when the room feels quiet, you are not alone, child. You never will be. When you feel pressure again, pause not in fear, but in awareness, because often that pressure is not an attack. It is angelic presence drawing near to fulfill the next stage of what I have spoken. Heaven is not distant, it is active. Tonight, I need you to know beyond every doubt. You are not waiting for help to arrive. It is already here. The presence of angels is not a future promise. It is a present reality. You are surrounded, covered, and not outnumbered. You are walking with company you cannot see, but you will begin to sense it stronger than ever before. Watch closely. You are not just protected, you are escorted. Now that you recognize that angelic forces have already surrounded you and are not waiting for you to be perfect before acting on my instructions, I must take you even deeper into what has already been written. Your steps are not casual. Your patterns are not random. There is nothing accidental about where you have been placed, how you have been positioned, or why your timing has felt so unusual. It is because heaven's assignment has been inscribed upon your very movements. You are not merely living life. You are carrying out a strategy. Even when it feels like you are wandering, I want you to know you are walking inside a design that was etched by my hand long before anyone knew your name. This is why doors you thought you wanted did not open. This is why some places did not feel right, no matter how perfect they looked on the outside. It is because your steps must align with what I have written, not with what others recommend. I have mapped out a flow for you, not a formula. I have encoded purpose into your pace. You do not move like everyone else because your path is not like theirs. I have scripted divine appointments into your detours. I have infused holy interruptions into what look like delays. Nothing is wasted when I am ordering the journey. Every shift in direction has meaning. Every moment of stillness has a reason. Every hesitation that you thought was weakness was actually a checkpoint in your divine assignment. You are not behind. You are walking inside a timeline designed by heaven itself. Yes, others may not understand it. They may question your pace or wonder why you do not move faster or push harder, but they do not see what I see written over you. They are reading from pages I never gave them access to. Only I know the full scroll of your destiny. That is why you must stay sensitive to my voice over the noise of comparison. The steps I have assigned to you are tailored to the weight you are meant to carry, the atmosphere you are called to shift, and the people you are meant to impact. If you try to rush ahead or mimic another path, you will miss divine intersections prepared specifically for you. So walk with intention, even if the path feels unclear. Trust the rhythm I am setting, even if the scenery does not match your expectations. The movements of your life are declarations in the spirit realm. Every place your feet touch is marked. Every room you enter, something shifts, even when no one acknowledges it. You are not just traveling, you are releasing something I placed within you. That presence you feel rising when you enter unfamiliar ground is not nervousness, it is recognition. Heaven knows where you are standing. Hell knows who you are. Creation is responding to what I have placed over your steps. You have been asking me for instructions, but what you have not realized is that your obedience has already been setting miracles into motion. You did not need to understand everything. You just needed to keep moving. And you did. When you kept going without clarity, you were fulfilling prophecy. When you stayed faithful without applause, you were aligning with destiny. When you said yes in private, heaven wrote approved in bold. Now, your feet are walking into moments that were prepared generations before you even breathed your first breath. Do not despise the quiet seasons. They are still strategic. Do not look down on small beginnings. They are still sacred. I have hidden treasure in the terrain you are walking. I have embedded glory into your direction. The enemy wants you to think you are drifting, but I declare you are advancing, step by step, even when it does not feel like it. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Your movements are prophetic. They are not just taking you somewhere, they are establishing territory. You are claiming ground, not only for yourself, but for those attached to your assignment. So go forward now with new awareness. You are not lost or wandering. You are being led. Your path is not blank. It is marked by my fingerprint. Even the steps you took that felt like failure have been folded into the plan. I have not removed my hand from your journey for a single moment. Soon, you will begin to see the connections come together. The timing will align, and the purpose will become visible. But for now, keep moving, because every step you take echoes with destiny and fulfills the writing heaven has placed over your life. Because you now understand that every step you have taken has been carved with precision by my hand, and that heaven's script is woven into your very motion. It is time I uncover the part the enemy has tried hardest to hide from you. The progress he fought so hard to interrupt is not dead. It has only been paused. And I declare to you now, by my authority and not your effort, what the enemy tried to stop will begin again now. Not tomorrow, not next season, not when you feel ready. Now. The very thing he thought he buried under disappointment, confusion, fear, and endless delays is about to rise with fresh wind behind it. What seemed broken beyond repair, what looked like a sealed chapter, what felt like a forgotten assignment, I am breathing on it at this moment. The warfare you faced was not random. The resistance was not coincidental. The sudden loss of momentum, the shattered opportunities, the premature exits, they were all targeted attempts to disconnect you from your place of effectiveness. He knew that if you ever realized what you carry, if you ever stood up after the fall, if you ever returned to what you were building with the knowledge you now possess, you would be unstoppable. So he tried to wear you out, to paralyze your belief, to convince you that too much time had passed and you were too far behind to ever begin again. But child, time obeys me. Restoration is not bound by the clock. I am the God who redeems years in a moment. The interruptions were not the end, they were only a delay. And delays, when surrendered to me, become altars where I multiply what you thought you lost. You cried when it all stopped. You grieved when the vision felt too heavy to pick up again. But I held that vision for you in the silence. I covered it when you did not have the strength to pray. I protected what you buried. Now I'm calling you back to it, not to restart in weakness, but to relaunch in power. It is not starting over. It is continuing with greater force. Listen closely. That stirring you feel inside, that sudden urgency, that restless push to revisit what you once laid down. It is not your imagination. It is me. I am awakening the call that never died. I am reigniting what religion said was finished. I am renewing the flame that life tried to smother. This time, it will not be like it was before. This time, you are not building in your own strength. This time, you are not depending on unstable support. This time, you are walking in wisdom forged by the fire. This time, I am going before you in ways you did not see last time. And this time, no weapon formed against you will succeed. Let this sink into the places that have settled into discouragement. It is not too late. You did not miss it. The enemy did not win. The process was not pointless. What stopped before was only setting the stage for a greater unveiling. You had to be refined, emptied, so I could fill you differently. You had to lose what was shaky, so I could establish what is solid. Now you will move without apology, rebuild without hesitation, and step into spaces you once shrunk away from, because what I am reviving in you will no longer depend on external affirmation. It will burn with internal fire. I have already sent the help you need, aligned the resources, and released the instructions in your spirit. You will begin to feel them with a clarity that surprises you. When you do not overthink it. Do not let fear delay you again. Just move, just return, just open your mouth, just start. You are not who you were when it ended last time. You are stronger, deeper, anointed, and ready. The enemy would not have fought this hard if what you carried was not explosive. But the attack did not cancel the promise, it only confirmed it. So rise now. Return to the blueprint. Reopen what you thought was closed. Reclaim the ground you walked away from. What the enemy tried to stop will begin again now. And not just begin, but flourish. You will not have to force it, you will flow. You will not strive, you will step. Because now, you are not building for approval. You are building from my command, and where I have spoken, nothing can stand in the way. Child, you are not just starting again, you are stepping into fulfillment. Now that what was violently interrupted is beginning again, not by your might, but by my breath, I must tell you something sacred, something your heart needs to grasp deeply before you take your next step. I have not forgotten what you buried in prayer. I heard every quiet whisper in the middle of nights when no one knew you were awake. I remember the silent words you spoke while tears soaked your face and your voice gave out from crying. I recall the promises you reminded me of when no one else believed in them. Every petition, every plea, every holy ache you laid before me, I have preserved them all. None were dismissed. Not one was overlooked. I did not discard them in the delay. I archived them for this hour. You may have thought time erased them, or that because I was silent, I was uninterested. But child, my silence was not forgetfulness. It was preparation. I do not respond to desperation with quick fixes. I respond with eternal answers. I take what you give me in anguish and work it into a solution that is bigger than what you imagined. While you were wondering if I even heard you, I was already forming the fulfillment. I do not operate in forgetfulness. I dwell in fullness. Now I am reaching into what you once buried, what you were too weary to continue praying for, and uncovering it again, not as it was, but as I have shaped it through time. You see, prayer is not always answered the way you expect. Sometimes I let the seed go deep into the soil of waiting, so that when it finally breaks through, it carries a strength you did not know you would need. What you buried, whether it was a dream, a relationship, a calling, a promise, or a cry for help, was not buried to die, but to be transformed. Hidden, yes, but not lost. Delayed, yes, but not denied. And now I say to you, prepare to see resurrection. Not in theory, but in reality. What you prayed when no one else was listening is about to produce fruit when everyone else is watching. I remember the prayers you were too broken to finish, the sentences you started but did not have the strength to end. I completed them with my spirit. The moments you collapsed in my presence, unable to speak, I translated those tears into blueprints. I have kept every word, every sigh, every broken hallelujah. I am not just giving you what you asked for. I am giving you what I knew you would need when you did not have the strength to pray for more. You thought you were just asking for survival. I was preparing abundance. You thought you were begging for help. I was planning a legacy. Your prayers may have come from pain, but their answers will come through power. This is why you had to wait, why the silence felt so long. Some answers are too glorious to be rushed. I needed to stretch your spirit, deepen your capacity, and widen your perspective so that when I fulfilled what you asked, you would have the endurance to carry it well. I am not answering from a place of pity. I am responding from a place of promise. This time, when you receive it, you will know it was not random, a whim, or luck. It was layered with intention, and it was not late. It was launched in perfect timing. So do not give up on what you whispered in despair. Do not cancel the prayers you prayed in trembling faith. I have been tending to those roots, watering them with my mercy and shielding them from premature exposure. Now the season has shifted. The answers are beginning to emerge, not in fragments, but in fullness. When they come, you will not have to knock on doors. I will open them before you reach them. You will not have to prove you are ready. Your endurance will speak louder than credentials. What you buried in prayer was never lost. It was being woven into my divine unveiling. Watch closely, child. What you thought I forgot, I have been preparing to fulfill. What you thought slipped through my fingers, I have held tightly. What you prayed in secret, I will reward openly, not just for you, but for the generations tied to your yes. You did not pray in vain. You planted something eternal. Now, the ground is beginning to shake with the evidence that heaven has not been silent. The answers are alive. The fulfillment is near. And I am about to prove that I never missed a single word. Now that you understand, I remembered every word you buried in prayer and are beginning to sense that nothing was forgotten. I must take you into the truth behind the most misunderstood season of your life. The long, quiet, stretching nights. The moments when you could not find the path forward, when the walls of confusion closed in, when the world kept moving while your soul stood still. Those were not signs that you failed, that I was distant, or that I turned away from you. No, child, the night season you walked through was not punishment. It was preparation. It was not my rejection. It was my refinement. I was forming something in you that daylight could never produce. In the night, I stripped away the noise, removed the distractions, and slowed the world around you until all you had left was me. Though it felt cruel at times, it was mercy. Because what I planned to pour into your life could not be contained by a soul cluttered with shallow ambition. I had to take you into the night to teach you how to see without sight, how to believe without proof, how to worship without applause. I had to teach you to hear my voice in stillness, so you would never confuse the volume of the crowd with the weight of my whisper. You thought you were forgotten, left behind, but in truth, I was drawing you deeper than the surface ever allowed. I let the lights go out, so your inner fire would be forced to burn. I let doors remain shut, so you would learn the sound of my knock. I hid certain things from you, not to torment you, but to build trust. Because only in darkness does true intimacy form. Only when nothing else works do you discover what has always been working. My presence within you. The night season was not wasted. It was where your roots grew. And those roots are what will now carry you when the winds of blessing begin to blow. The reason this night felt so endless is that I was teaching you endurance. Not just to survive pain, but to hold glory. You were being trained in the shadows to carry light without letting it break you. I know what is coming, and I could not let your character remain undeveloped. You thought you were being ignored, but I was investing in you. You thought you were wandering, but I was walking beside you in every slow, uncertain step. You grew in places you didn't even notice. Patience, discipline, discernment, and compassion. Now, those qualities will become your strength in the days ahead. I did not just let you walk through the night, I walked with you in it. I was the strength in your silence. I was the fire that did not go out when you thought your hope was gone. I was the stillness that held you together when anxiety tried to unravel you. And now, the same night that once felt like a prison will become your testimony. You will minister not from theory, but from truth. You will speak not from assumption, but from survival. Others will find light because of the way you endured the darkness. They will ask, "How did you make it through?" And you will answer, "Because even when I couldn't see him, he never left me." So do not resent the night. Do not rush past what it taught you. That season gave you depth. It gave you authenticity. It gave you a connection with me that cannot be shaken. The lessons you learned in silence are about to shout through your life. The treasure found in the crushing is about to shine through your words. You are no longer the person who entered that night. You have been focused and filled, and what comes next will make sense of all that felt senseless. This next chapter needs the version of you that was formed in the dark. You are not fragile anymore. You are not easily shaken. You have walked through shadows, and now you carry fire. So walk boldly into what I am revealing. The night did not end you. It equipped you. And every time you feel the residue of that long silence, let it remind you, I was shaping something holy when no one else saw. And now it is time to carry that strength into the light. The preparation is over. The release has begun. Now that you see your night season was not wasted, that every moment of darkness was preparing you for what could only grow in the unseen, let me bring you even closer. In those moments when no one noticed, when no one reached out, when you were completely alone with your pain, I was not distant. I was fully present. You cried in silence, but I listened loudly. The world may have continued turning while your soul sat still, but I never looked away. Every time you held your breath to keep from sobbing, I was holding you. Every tear that fell in secret, I caught. Every time you choked back emotion to look strong for others, I recorded the sorrow. Not a single cry was missed. Not one expression of pain was overlooked by me. You assumed no one saw, so you stopped explaining. You decided it was better to carry the pain than to keep reaching for help that never came. But while others were unaware, I was attuned. While they were preoccupied, I was leaning in. And my listening is not passive, it is powerful. I was not just hearing your words, I was absorbing the emotions behind them. I was not just witnessing your breakdown. I was collecting it all and weaving it into the very purpose I had already ordained for your life. You did not realize it then, but your tears became oil. Your anguish became a new language. Your broken groans became the melody of deliverance that you will now carry for others. I heard you even when you thought your voice had failed. I heard you when you had no more words. There is nothing about you I missed. The nights you cried for peace, the mornings you begged for strength, the days you functioned while feeling like you were dying inside, none of it went unnoticed. You did not have to shout for me to hear you. I heard you in the silence. I heard you in the sigh. I heard you in the moments where you simply laid down, not because you were resting, but because standing up was too much. And I did not just hear, I responded. You are here now because I acted on what you thought was ignored. You survived what should have broken you. You are still breathing when the weight should have crushed you. That was not random endurance. It was me working on the cries you assumed had disappeared into emptiness. Child, let this truth settle into your spirit. Your pain was never dismissed. I never called it dramatic. I never labeled it weakness. I never compared your suffering to someone else's. When you hurt, I was moved. When you wept, I drew closer. When you said, God, I don't know how much more I can take, I did not sit silently. I began to shift things, even when you could not see them yet. While you cried on the outside, I was working on the inside. While you were asking for escape, I was fortifying your roots. Your pain was not ignored, it was holy ground. And I was there, listening with a love that refuses to walk away. Now you will begin to see the answers that grew out of those hidden cries. You will witness the strength that came from your surrender. Others will look at you and admire your resilience, but you will know it was not resilience. It was dependence. It was raw, tear-soaked trust that refused to give up. You will minister with a depth others cannot explain, because what you carry did not come from classrooms. It came from your secret place of brokenness. I will use what you survived to heal others. I will send you to people who prayed the same prayers, cried the same tears, and felt the same silence you once endured. and you will speak not with theory, but with authority, because I was there when you were undone, and now I will be there as I rebuild you with glory. Do not downplay those silent nights. That silence was sacred. That sorrow was noticed. That darkness was my invitation to stay close, and you accepted. So now I reward you, not because you performed, but because you remained. And that kind of faith is never ignored. I listened loudly, I was moved deeply, and now the fruit of your silence is about to speak louder than anything you have ever shouted. Now that you know I was listening even when your cries were silent, I want you to grasp what is unfolding in the spiritual realm. Your voice, the one you thought was too weak, too broken, too tired, has reached my throne, and because it reached me, my hand is now reaching for you. You did not just survive the silence, you activated heaven. You did not just cry, you called me. And now I'm not just responding with comfort, I am reaching into your life with demonstration. Waiting is turning into movement. The unseen obedience is becoming visible intervention. What you whispered in isolation caused a ripple in eternity. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. While you were on your knees wondering if I heard, I was dispatching help, issuing orders, and arranging outcomes. And now my hand, a symbol of my authority, my power, my direction, is extending toward you. Not to brush against you lightly, but to grab hold of you with a strength that shifts everything. My hand is not symbolic, it is sovereign. When I stretch my hand toward someone, nothing stays the same. What was stuck begins to move. What was dying begins to breathe. What was blocked begins to open. You are about to feel what happens when heaven touches earth, and this time, it touches you. You did not earn this touch through perfection. It was your consistency in chaos, your belief without evidence, your endurance when quitting would have made sense. That is what reached me. And now I am reaching for you, not gently but fully. I am reaching into the areas you hid, into the places you gave up on, into the prayers you stopped repeating because you feared another disappointment. I am reaching into your story, not to rewrite it, but to redeem it. I am touching what trauma tried to label permanent. I am placing my hand on what history tried to bury. I am entering the room of your inner life where you locked the door and said, "This is too painful to deal with." And I am not knocking. I am entering because you gave me access when you prayed. Let me tell you what happens when my hand reaches you. Bondage breaks without explanation. Doors that were rusted shut swing open without human assistance. Timelines that looked too far gone collapse under the weight of divine acceleration. You will speak something simple, and it will carry power. You will show up without status, and rooms will shift because I came with you. This is about giving you divine momentum. My hand carries force. When I move, everything surrounding you must adjust. And I say to you now, brace yourself. Not because harm is coming, but because help is coming so quickly, you will not have time to prepare. The questions that haunted you will begin to dissolve as my hand moves, not because you figured it all out, but because I am lifting you above the fog. I am not fixing surface issues. I am righting roots. I am not changing symptoms. I am healing causes. You are about to be surprised, not by a miracle you hoped for, but by the magnitude of what I had planned all along. What I do in the next moments of your life will not just encourage you, it will announce me. People will see it and ask, how did that happen? And the only honest answer will be, God reached down. You may not feel qualified or ready, but my hand is not reaching for you because of how you feel. It is reaching because of what I have spoken. And when I move, nothing can resist me. No barrier is stronger. No delay is more persistent. I have decided this is your moment of contact. You have reached me, and now I reach for you. My hand has reached for you intentionally and forcefully, not just to lift you up or restore what was lost, but to transform you into something far greater than a recipient. You are now becoming a vessel, a living conduit through which my miracles will flow. This is not a metaphor. It is a present reality. You will be a conduit of miracles, not someday, but now. Not when you feel ready, but tonight. My glory is choosing your yielded life as the highway for heaven's touch. You have often believed that miracles were reserved for special people, but I have always chosen the surrendered over the spectacular. I do not look for spotless resumes. I look for open hearts. I move through those who stop trying to impress me and simply let me in. And that is you. I have seen you empty yourself over and over. That surrender has qualified you more than you realize. You are not just prepared, you are positioned. Miracles will move through you, not because you speak perfectly, but because you have allowed me to purify you. You are not the source, but you are the vessel. When you open your mouth, I will fill it. When you lay your hands on someone, I will respond. When you step into a room, the atmosphere will feel me because I am no longer simply with you. I am moving through you. There are people I will bring into your space whose hearts are heavy and whose hope is fading. Without you knowing the details, I will give you the words that break yokes. I will place healing in your touch. I am trusting you not because you are flawless, but because you are faithful. I need vessels that do not seek attention, but seek obedience. Heaven has marked this night. The supernatural is not just coming near, it is passing through you like a current, setting things in motion that no earthly effort could achieve. Do not hesitate. If I prompt you to speak, do it. If I move you to pray, do not delay. The miracles will not happen because you force them. They will happen because you follow. The pressure is not on you to perform, the call is on you to obey. My spirit will do the rest. This is not for your glory. This is about me touching my people through someone who finally said, "Yes, Lord, whatever you want." That yes became the open gate. Because of that yes, lives will be changed. Chains will break and tears will turn to praise. You will feel me so strongly that you will never again doubt whether I could use someone like you. Because after tonight, you will know I do not choose based on status. I choose based on surrender. Breathe deeply, quiet your heart, and make space. My power is not on its way. It is here. And you are the conduit. Now that you have stepped into the flow of my spirit, it is vital that you understand the sacred weight of what I am doing. This is not a spectacle. This is not a performance. This is a rescue mission. I have not chosen you so people will applaud. I have positioned you because someone's life depends on what I am doing through you. Souls are at stake. I trust you not to make it about you. That is why I did not give you the stage before I gave you the struggle. Now you understand what it means to weep with those who weep. You move not from ambition, but from brokenness transformed into power. There are people you will encounter who do not need a sermon. They need safety. They need someone available, someone who will carry my presence without needing to announce it. That is who you have become. I am going to send you into moments that may seem small, but are loaded with eternal weight. One sentence spoken in my spirit can undo a lifetime of torment. One act of kindness led by my hand can break through decades of trauma. You are not walking with empty gestures. You are walking with fire wrapped in humility. Do not seek the spotlight. Seek alignment. Do not wait for platforms. Walk into purpose. I am not sending you to be famous, I am sending you to be faithful. And child, I trust you now. Souls need what I have cultivated in you. They are not looking for entertainment, they are desperate for a real encounter. And I have made you a resting place for my spirit, so that when they come near you, they come near me. This is why the enemy fought so hard to make you bitter. He wanted to turn your compassion into coldness and your passion into performance. But you did not let him. You chose to stay soft in my presence. And now, because you have been refined, I can trust you with souls, not numbers, not crowds, but hearts. You will not always know who is watching, but I will. You may never be thanked, but heaven will record every step. And when you start to feel overwhelmed, remember this. I am not asking you to fix everyone. I am asking you to follow me moment by moment. I will guide you. Just carry my presence, and I will do the rest. Walk now with clarity. This is not about being seen. It is about being sent. Now that you have embraced this divine pursuit of souls, I want you to understand the deeper purpose behind why I chose you for this hour. It is not merely because you were willing, but because your willingness has matured into bold obedience. They will see me not through miracles alone, but through your bold obedience, doing what I say when I say it, even when no one understands. That obedience becomes the canvas upon which I paint my character. I will represent myself through your surrendered steps. When you obey without hesitation, my presence is revealed in power. This is what the world is starving for. Not more noise, but someone who walks in such alignment with me that their obedience becomes undeniable evidence that I am real. It is your obedience that will reveal me. It is when you forgive the one who never apologized. It is when you build what has not been seen before. It is when you stand when sitting would be easier. That is when they will see me. This is why I trained you in silence. Bold obedience cannot be learned in comfort. It is cultivated in mystery. You learned how to follow me through fog, and that is what makes you dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. You move not by sight, but by trust. And when you step out, heaven moves with you. I do not need you to explain yourself. I just need you to walk, because your walking becomes prophecy. The impact of your obedience will far outweigh the discomfort of the unknown. You are not just obeying for yourself, you are clearing paths for others. When people see someone truly yielded, they encounter me in the purest form. As you move in alignment with my instruction, not everyone will understand or applaud. Some will criticize what they cannot comprehend. But do not let their reactions determine your faithfulness. Do not shrink back to keep others comfortable. I am your reward. Your obedience is an offering to me. Your yes, yes will often make others uncomfortable because it exposes their unwillingness. But do not let their silence confuse you. I have seen you obey when it cost you relationships. I have seen you stand when support faded. Your reward is not in their praise, it is in my presence. Your only assignment is to keep listening and keep moving. When they question you, let your fruit answer. When they mock you, let your peace speak louder. You are not being rejected, you are being refined. I am separating the voices that once mattered too much so that mine becomes the only one that leads you. I am not isolating you to hurt you. I am consecrating you to protect you. Some tables you were removed from were never part of your destiny. I am building your life around purpose. And purpose does not always look impressive, but it always produces eternal fruit. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Rest in me. I am your defender, your validation, and your reward. What I am preparing for you does not need their permission. Heaven has been clapping for you in rooms where earth was silent. Soon you will see that everything you let go of was making space for everything I have been waiting to give. Now I can tell you why your obedience carries such weight. What I am doing through you is not just for the present moment, it is for the future. What you release in faith will echo into the lives of people you may never meet. The steps you take in boldness are becoming the blueprint for generations that will walk behind you. You are not just making decisions, you are leaving an inheritance of unshakable faith. You have no idea of the ripple effect created by every act of your obedience. Every time you move forward despite not seeing the full picture, you are laying foundations that I will build on for years to come. There are generations behind you who will thank me for your faith, even if they never know your name. There are battles they will never have to fight because you broke ground for them in prayer. You are the turning point, the bridge I am using between what was and what will be. And though the weight feels heavy, I promise you it is producing something eternal. Do not underestimate the authority of your yes. What you think is small, I am using as a spark that will ignite generations of faithfulness. What flows from you will not dry up. It will expand. You are not just moving forward, you are shifting the future. Now, I must confront the lie that has tried to follow you. The whisper that says you are too small for something this big, that you are unqualified for the weight of influence I have begun to release. Hear me clearly. You are not too small. You are chosen for this. I did not make a mistake. You keep looking at your weaknesses as if they disqualify you. But those very areas of vulnerability are where my strength will shine brightest. I did not need someone who had it all figured out. I needed someone who would not try to do it without me. And that is who you are. You did not run when it got hard. You stayed, and that is what made you ready. When I choose someone, I do not consult public opinion or weigh resumes. I look for surrender. I look for humility. I look for that one soul who says, God, I don't feel worthy, but if you want me, I'm here. That is what I heard from you. You are not small in my eyes. You are mighty because I dwell in you. Your journey has carved out a space for compassion that cannot be faked. Your pain has produced wisdom that books cannot teach. Your obedience has built authority that cannot be bought. I have always chosen what looks small to confound the powerful. So lift your head. Stop apologizing for taking up space in rooms I have opened. Stop second-guessing the anointing I have poured into you. It is time to walk in it with the quiet confidence of one who knows they were sent. I did not choose you because of your credentials. I chose you because of your heart. You are a vessel, handpicked, fire-tested, and trusted. I will use you, not despite your size, but because of it. Because the world needs to see what happens when I take someone others ignored and raise them into an influence that cannot be denied. Walk forward now, not in arrogance, but in assurance. You are not too small. You are chosen. And I will prove it through you. While everything around you may still appear quiet, I am pouring my fire into your stillness. Not your striving, not your hustle, but into the stillness where you feel paused and hidden. That stillness you have misjudged as stagnation is where I am releasing something sacred that cannot be imparted through activity alone. I have led you into a quiet place, not to punish you with delay, but to saturate you with power. This stillness is not empty, it is pregnant with fire. I am igniting something in your spirit that will not burn out, something being lit without spotlights or applause. This holy combustion is happening beneath the surface of your days. I have removed distractions and silenced the clamor not to restrict you, but to refine you. This is not isolation, it is consecration. This is not punishment, it is preservation. This kind of fire needs stillness to settle into every layer of who you are. I am pouring revelation into your quiet hours and branding my word into your bones, so that when the shaking comes, you will not flinch. I am not training you to start fast, I am preparing you to last long. The weight of what is ahead requires more than readiness. It demands inward fire. I am teaching you to burn for me without needing an audience, to glow in obscurity so that when the light hits you later, it will only reveal what was already formed in private. This season of stillness is where I am restoring your capacity to hear me clearly. I am a God who ignites, not one who rushes. And when I say the word, you will rise from this stillness with a clarity the world cannot shake. You will move not with panic, but with precision. You will not chase open doors, they will open toward you. You will not beg for opportunities, they will be drawn to the fire within you. People are desperate for authenticity, for someone who burns with something real. And child, that is what I am placing inside you now. Do not curse the stillness. Stay with me. Let the fire do its work. You are being filled for longevity, not just for a moment. When you emerge, it will not be with a flicker, but with a flame that makes darkness back away. In this night, your silence will carry power. Not just your prayers, but your silence itself is becoming a weapon. Your ability to remain grounded when chaos surrounds you, your decision to hold your peace when everything demands a reaction. This kind of silence is not weakness, it is warfare. In this moment, I am placing a divine weight upon your silence that will speak louder than any defense ever could. The old you would have stepped into the chaos to defend, correct, or justify. But now, your silence will be evidence that you trust me more than you trust your own words. Your restraint will reveal maturity. Your refusal to engage in battles I did not call you to fight will become a shield that confuses the enemy. Your lack of response will not be passivity, it will be precision. When you walk into rooms with unresolved tension, the atmosphere will bend under the weight of my presence inside you. Your silence will carry the thunder of heaven because you are not withdrawing in fear. You are standing in divine confidence. I have been guarding your voice for something greater than self-defense. I am preserving your breath for declarations that shift regions, not arguments that waste energy. Every time you have held your tongue when your heart burned, you were planting seeds of power that will now rise in strength. That silence was not wasted. It was stored, and now I am releasing it as influence. I have been setting you apart, and silence was the chamber where I refined your motives and stripped away the desire to be validated by noise. Where I am taking you, your words must come from a place of clarity, not urgency. I have taught you that sometimes the most powerful statement is presence, and the loudest sermon is restraint. The breakthrough does not come by saying more, but by saying nothing and letting me speak on your behalf. I am the one who vindicates and defends. You do not need to shout to be effective. And soon, the same mouths that misunderstood your silence will witness the harvest of your restraint. Because silence in the hands of the surrendered becomes a trumpet in the hands of heaven. The stillness has prepared you for this. The storm you feared will obey your words. The very turbulence that once intimidated you will now respond to your voice, not because of volume, but because of authority. I have walked you through the valley of stillness so that when you stand before the chaos, you speak from a place of deep knowing. You will no longer beg me to move. You will be declaring what I have already said. This is the divine reversal. What used to silence you will now submit to you. When my son stood in the boat and faced the raging sea, he did not shout to heaven for help. He spoke, "Peace be still," and creation obeyed. That same spirit now rests in you. That same authority lives inside your ribcage. What you survived was not just for survival, it was to prepare your mouth for command. The storm is not your enemy, it is your training ground. You now carry calm in chaos. When the storm rises next, you will not panic, you will prophesy. You will open your mouth and decree not what you see, but what I have shown you. And the storm will know your voice because it knows the one who lives within you. The very fact that the winds have returned is proof that the enemy fears what is about to come from your mouth. You no longer speak from impulse, you speak from intimacy. I will give you the words in the moment you need them. I will whisper, and you will speak. Creation will recognize the voice that once calmed the seas is now speaking again through my surrendered ones. You are not shouting for survival anymore. You are declaring victory. The storm has no authority over your destiny, but your words, rooted in me, have authority over the storm. Go ahead, say it, and watch it obey. My beloved child, what I have placed within you is not just for comfort. It is confrontational by nature. You are not simply a carrier of light. You are a revealer of hidden things. That is why when you enter certain places, people shift uncomfortably. It is not because you did anything wrong, but because the spirit of truth you carry begins to pull at the veil they have been hiding behind. Even in silence, your presence disturbs demonic systems. You do not have to expose anyone. Your very existence becomes a mirror. People who have been comfortable hiding will feel the pressure to confront what they have buried. This is not to make you proud, it is to make you bold. Confrontation, when done in love, is restoration in motion. You are not called to destroy people. You are called to disarm the lies they believe. You are not sent to shame, but to shake. Do not water yourself down to fit in spaces I sent you to shift. Do not apologize for the oil you carry. I did not anoint you for comfort, I anointed you for clarity. You are not the loudest in the room, but when you speak, the room adjusts. That is not arrogance, that is authority through surrender. The ones who get irritated by your presence are not your enemies. They are encountering me through you, and it is unfamiliar. This is also why your circle has shrunk. Not everyone can walk closely with someone who carries clarity. You were never meant to be palatable, you were meant to be prophetic. When doors close without reason, or people distance themselves without warning, do not chase them, bless them. I am removing what would have diluted you. Be ready, because what you carry will start stirring more boldly. You will walk into rooms and feel the atmosphere shift before anyone speaks. You will discern motives masked by kindness. And I will give you wisdom on when to speak, when to wait, and when to walk away. You did not become this overnight. I shaped this in secret. Every silent prayer, every tear sown in surrender built something powerful inside you. You have become dangerous to the enemy because you carry the real thing. My beloved child, what I deposited in your spirit is beyond the reach of manipulation. It is not a gift that can be twisted, misused, or rebranded by human hands. What I entrusted to you is sealed by my own authority. No system, no voice of jealousy, no network of control can take ownership over what I have authored in you. This is why I removed certain people from your life. It was not rejection, it was protection. I saw the strings they were quietly tying to your purpose, how they wanted to package your potential to benefit their own plans. I did not bring you this far to have you become someone's puppet. You may have wept when those connections ended, but I rejoiced because I was securing your calling. What was birthed in the wilderness cannot be sold in the marketplace. It is sacred. People will try to claim influence over your rise, but I am clarifying this now. No one can take credit for what I am doing in you. I alone lifted you when no one else looked your way. I alone trained you in silence, so do not let anyone guilt you into servitude. You do not owe your journey to anyone but me. What is on you is not a product of technique, it is a result of surrender. I have made you immune to manipulation. You are about to be offered opportunities that look golden but are laced with compromise. They will flatter you, but it is bait. They will offer exposure, but it comes with strings. But you will know. You will feel it in your spirit when something is not pure. Do not override that discomfort. Not every open door is for me. You will walk into rooms where manipulation is the language, and yet you will remain unmoved. I will give you the boldness to say no, even when yes would elevate your platform, because you have chosen purity over promotion. You are under the command of heaven. What I placed in you is holy, and I am guarding it with fire. Walk boldly, my child. You are unmanipulatable. What I formed in you will speak for itself. My beloved child, do not fear what was meant to destroy you. That storm you have been standing in, yes, the very one that felt like it would swallow everything, is under my authority. It did not come to kill your promise, it came to unveil it. While others only saw the wind and the waves, I saw a platform rising beneath your feet. The very chaos that was stirred up around you has become the stage I will use to show the world that you did not fall. I allowed the storm, but I also stood inside it with you. That night you cried and thought it was all over. I was closer than your breath. I did not silence the storm immediately, because what it stirred in you was more valuable than the comfort you lost. It uncovered your resilience. It awakened your dependence. It was not punishment, it was purification. You have been begging me to bring the storm to a stop, but what if I told you the storm is the vehicle of your unveiling? I am revealing you now, right in the middle of the mess. I am revealing you while they still doubt, while they still mock, while they still think you are finished. Because that is when my glory shines the brightest. They watched you go into that storm and assumed you would not return. They thought your voice would be buried, but they did not know I had already marked you. They did not know that while the storm howled, you were learning to hear me above it. They thought you were shrinking, but you were growing roots. They thought you were panicking, but you were praying. They thought you were done, but I was just getting started with you. This storm will not be the final chapter of your story. It will be the page turner. The event that looked like your undoing will become the reference point for many testimonies. You will not just survive. You will emerge with a clarity, wisdom, and authority that cannot be faked. It is earned in the furnace of adversity and confirmed by my spirit alone. And when you open your mouth to speak, chains will fall, not because of volume, but because of the oil. My beloved child, this was not just a message, it was a movement. I have stirred the deep places of your spirit. I have reminded you of what the world tried to make you forget. You are chosen. You are marked. You are mine. And this space, this very channel, is a meeting place between heaven and earth. I will continue to speak here. I will release more instructions, more confirmations, more fire. Do not let this be your last encounter. Subscribe, not for entertainment, but for alignment. Tap the bell so you never miss a moment of my voice. Amen.